we can get all that information out there. Angelica down in the village, and so 5:30 Wednesday at 5:30, and mess around. If you got a couple of listeners that hit you up or something, we might even have a few free tickets to give out today.
Well, hold on now. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I'm clear to do that since we're on Pacifica. But let me look at it. If I can, I'll let you know. But tell everybody where they can go to get tickets and where to find them, if you don't mind, Cliff.
Yeah, they can go to our social media because we've got different posts about it. So you can go to at Black Voters MTR, like matter, at Black Voters MTR. That's on all platforms, Facebook, IG, all that stuff. Just look on our profile. We should have something there. Or you could just Google Doc NYC and look for they have a calendar that'll show each day, and go to the Wednesday the 19th, and you'll see our film is called Love, Joy, and Power, because that's what we talk about.
Looking forward to that. That's great that's going on, and great to celebrate. Congratulations to Black Voters Matter. We've been joined by our other co-founder, Black Voters Matter. We're just hearing about the documentary. You all are movie stars now. I'm happy about that, and we look forward to seeing y'all at all the Oscar celebrations and all of that kind of stuff. Latasha Brown joins us.
Speak those things as though they are. We hear you, brother. We hear you.
Yeah. Let me just remind everyone, I'm actually broadcasting from Chicago today, here visiting with Reverend Jackson. And let me just say to everybody, we're sometimes we get caught up in things folks want to speculate. There's nothing to speculate on. Reverend Jackson needs prayer. That's it. And we all got to understand that. Pray for Reverend Jackson for all he's done for us. God is the only author of what happens minute by minute and hour to hour. They're good minutes and they're challenging minutes, but he's still with us. Somebody posted this morning that something else happened that wasn't true. But he is definitely still with us. Latasha and Cliff, I got in, it was yesterday afternoon. I was headed back to my seminary, and someone called and said, you should probably come. And I booked at 2:18 a flight at 3:20 to get here. And when I got there, he opened his eyes and he said, I love you, Mark. And that meant the world. So I'm still here. I'm going to go back and see him today. So folks, please keep Reverend Jackson in your prayers. And frankly, a lot of the work that Black Voters Matter is doing and has been doing comes from what Reverend Jackson started in 1984 and 1988. He really defined what it meant to go out, locate and identify Black voters who were voting, those who weren't voting, those who needed to be registered. And that's the political scientific formula that Black Voters Matter continues to use today. We ain't got to reinvent a whole lot of wheels. They have even improved on it. So we're thankful for that. But in that same vein, he was giving out instructions yesterday. He want us to go find 2,000 turkeys, give 2,000 families. And said, wait a minute, we just got here to the hospital. So give us a minute, Reverend. But you all are continuing economic non-cooperation. Everybody knows about Target, but you all have expanded it. So tell us about the We Ain't Buying It campaign, Cliff and Latasha.
It's interesting that you talk about Reverend Jackson, because one of the things that probably the most well-known Black leader in modern times around economic accountability was Reverend Jackson. That Reverend Jackson literally through the Black Wall, the project that he would do on Wall Street. What was the name of it, Mark? I can't remember.
Well, it was the Wall Street Project.
It was a Wall Street Project, wasn't it? Okay, I thought I was too literal. Okay, the Wall Street Project, and that what folks may or may not know, that a sizable amount of Black business owners and franchise owners, that was because of the work of Reverend Jackson, of what he did from Toyota and some of the other large companies, putting pressure on them and utilizing economic pressure. He has been a core piece and a function of him, how he saw, even talking to him, he would talk about kind of the political power and the economic power, and that we needed to use the economic power. And so I just wanted to lift up his legacy And a part of this is not just a voting piece, but we're also, it hasn't fallen on deaf ears that we also have to lean into our economic power. And how do we use and leverage that economic power in such a way those folks who are standing with this administration on policies that hurt and harm us, we got to hold them accountable. Like, we can't just continue to support those companies that have not done right by us, or those companies that in a whim, now you're saying DEI, you're going to pull it back from them. That is what one of them in particular. And I know our sister, Tamika Mallory is going to talk about this, but the work that they've been doing, they've been leading. She, Nina Turner, and Dr. Jamal Bryant have been leading. Hey, my sister, have been leading on Target. We got to understand the implications about that. That's not just one company. That sends a message that reverberates through all the companies around the power of Black spending. And so with the We Ain't Buying campaign that she is also helping to anchor, that we're working together, we're all working together on that Black Voters Matter and Until Freedom, and more than 50 other national groups are part of the We Ain't Buying, because we're going to utilize our power and our leverage November the 27th through December the 1st to be economically disciplined, that we've got to be disciplined enough that we are not spending money. Particularly, we got 3 companies where we're asking folks, don't spend money with any of those big box companies, and instead to redirect your resources to local Black owned and companies, businesses that are in our communities that stand with us. You know, them same folks that when we trying to get somebody to buy an ad in our child's book, those folks, same folks that we want to buy our popcorn, that expensive popcorn that we all selling, right, Cliff, every year, and candy. Sure. So we're asking folks, you can learn more about the campaign. I'm gonna turn it over, let my brother Cliff speak to it and why like just economic pressure is so important. But aside from the companies, I just want to offer, we got to be more conscientious as consumers. And so part of this campaign is really about us. That part of what happens, Black folks have $1.5 trillion in consumer spending, y'all. That's a lot of money. And we're continuing to actually support and prop up these very companies that can't wait to go over there and build a $300 million golden gilded dining room party palace for the current president. And so we're going to have to be much more conscientious around how we show up as voters, as consumers, as people, and how we use our money. I'll just stop there. So, Brother Cliff.
Yeah, just real quick before we pass it over to Tamika, you know, a lot of people, when we talk about like economic pressure, you know, we like to talk about the Montgomery bus boycott, and sometimes people will be like, well, I don't know if we can do a whole year, right? Like, I don't know if this We Ain't Buying it is gonna work, if it's gonna last and all that stuff. And people forget the Montgomery bus boycott wasn't supposed to be a year. It started off literally as a one-day boycott. Sister Joanne Robinson said those first flyers were about one day of not riding those buses. And they did that one day. And it was so successful that when they had the mass meetings, they said, well, who wants to keep it going? They said, well, let's keep it going. And a year later, the buses in Montgomery ended segregation, right? And so we don't have to get caught up on how long we think a thing can last. Now you can mess around and you could be like Sister Tamika in this Target boycott, and it may end up being, you know, about it's been about what, 6, 7, I don't know how long it's been so far, Tamika, but and what you see is that if you do that
since January.
So we had 10 months now. So you can see going on 11 months now. And so you can see that, you know, when you start off with focus, right? When you just start a thing, especially in this environment that we're in right now, that if we just get started, we can build up the momentum, and we never know where it can take us. So Tamika can say a lot more about that.
Tamika, I think you're muted.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
I know how to work all of this stuff at this point. How y'all doing, family? That's first of all.
Hi, family.
It's good to see everybody. It was really just so cool to pop on and see Cliff and Latasha sitting here with you, Mark. We are truly
5 a.m.
we are truly family
PFW.
in this thing together, and I don't know what we would be if it were not for all of the brilliance and the love that we share. I don't feel like I work with people who don't love me at this point in my life. And I think that is so important as we are traveling through rough terrain. It's a hard time, and we're under a lot of stress, but I do believe that we have sort of figured out the yin and yang of really standing with one another in love, as well as in the movement. So I just thought that we would start there this morning. I'm feeling all grounded today, And so listen, I have been exercising my boycott muscle for a long time because my parents are two individuals who have been in the movement since I was a very young girl. So it is not unusual for them to choose a company based on whatever's happening in the moment, whether it was Shell Oil, or at one point they were boycotting BP oil for this oil spill in Alabama. And Louisiana, and it goes on and on and on. The companies, the supermarkets, the newspapers, the New York Post. So this for me is natural. I've been boycotting Gucci for the blackface sweater. I'm really in this, and I agree with Latasha 100% that in this moment, it is not just about boycotting companies or having a campaign to accountability, a corporate accountability campaign. Some folks don't call it boycotts. I'm saying that that's not necessarily what everybody feels. Some people just feel like they're just holding companies accountable in this moment. But what we really are doing is exercising our muscle for what is to come. As we continue to travel this path where we are dealing with a lot of evilness, we know that, but we also are dealing with an entire government structure, even down to some of the local elected officials in cities and municipalities across this country, that folks are not taking care of the people. And so it is our responsibility to figure out the levers. We get to vote in elections, which we just did across the country, and it was a sweeping and resounding message sent that folks are not feeling what is taking place in the environment within this nation. But then you might not vote again for, until the midterm elections will be the next big time. Well, in between that, what do we do, Mark? What do we do? And I think that in between, we can be telling these companies that are quietly profiting from and supporting and propping up what we see happening here, fascism and authoritarianism, they're paying for it. When Donald Trump says that he is building the ballroom, the golden ballroom with private money, he's still talking about our money. He's still talking about our money. He's saying that the corporations and his buddies who are making money off of us on the side. So it may not be coming through the federal budgets, but they're still making money from us, because these are people like Target who put $1 million into the inauguration. That's our money. They're not putting their own money in the pot. This is money that is still coming from the people. So you have multiple ways, and I think that is what We Ain't Buying It is all about. We can show these folks in multiple ways that we ain't feeling it, we're not going to have it, and guess what? The people have the power. And I'm excited to be a part of this, because, by the way, even before we announced We Ain't Buying It, which we have been working on, Latasha had been working on this campaign for a long time, and Black Voters Matter, they had been already on this. But we've been doing this Target boycott since January and have been thinking about what companies would come next. We are also engaged with people who've been doing the Tesla boycotts, Home Depot, T-Mobile. We now have learned about Spotify. Right. So we've got people who have been working on a number of campaigns for a while who have converged. We had a convening, we brought everybody together, and now we're like Voltron working on this campaign together. This now gives our people ways to say, while I wait to get to the polls next November, in between time, let me tell so-and-so company, you want to support him? He is not profitable. Trump, racism, sexism, and all the other isms, it is not profitable for your company.
Tamika Mallory of Untold Freedom. You know, Tamika, you said something, you posted something on your Instagram the other day that I also was important, because Dick Gregory said this till the day he died. He said, we just need every year not spend money on Christmas, boycott Christmas. And you said something about, why don't we take an opportunity to, instead of trying to spend all our money with these corporations that are hurting us, which really isn't gifting our loved ones, to just share love with one another this holiday season.
Mhm.
You know, as opposed to helping the finance. And you're right, folks. You hear what Tamika said? That's still our money. Just so when we hear people say it's private money, we think, oh, that doesn't affect me because it's not tax money. Y'all spend y'all's money with these. They have money. Where they get their money from? From you and me. It's the same. Where they get the money just ain't being printed for them. So, Tamika, if you would, you know, just expound on that. You know, maybe this is also an opportunity, in addition to staying involved, because, you know, we have a bad habit. We had a big election day 2025. Everybody's happy and euphoric. Then we go back to sleep. This is 365 days a year, isn't it, Tamika?
Absolutely. And I know, you know, I have perimenopause brain, so apologize that I lost my train of thought while it was getting
That's
good.
A lot of information, Latasha. Thank you.
But we have to talk about these things, because some of our dudes don't know what we be going through when we remember what we was trying to say. So, you know, what I was gonna say, when you talk about 365 days and all of us being together, even before we announced this campaign, my phone alerts every day was just everyday people saying, I ain't spending a dime. I'm not spending a dime this holiday. They were saying the holidays are canceled over here. You don't got no SNAP benefits. One woman said, I don't even use SNAP, but I'm going to take my money and feed other people who need food, and I'm not going to be buying Christmas gifts. I just saw that Cedric the Entertainer, he posted that he's going to be blacking out for the holidays. I watched this amazing video of Kev on stage the other day saying, he was asked by an interviewer, do you ever feel that your morals and your success don't align? And he went into a whole thing by saying that when his book came out, he wanted to, of course, do all the Target rounds, you know, because Target purchased his book, and that's a key place for people to be able to purchase it. He said, but no, black folks are out here boycotting Target. I just can't do it. And he said that the white woman on the team was like, are you out of your mind? And he said, no, actually, I'm not. I will not be crossing the picket line. That's the kind of community that we're building during this, as you said, 365 days of the year. We need to be exercising that muscle. My father told me a long time ago that Christmas was canceled. They have not purchased a Christmas gift since Mike Brown was killed. And Minister Farrakhan said, redistribute the pain. Stop shopping. Have not purchased a Christmas gift since then.
And Tamika tell the truth, y'all, because I spend a lot of Christmas with her family and I don't get nothing. So that's true. I go over there.
You have received gifts from me, but not them. And
not them. That's true. That's true. I haven't gotten gifts from you. That's right.
But I tell you, to your point, you have been with us for holidays and nothing is missing. Because there's no gifts under the tree. It's love and fun. We enjoy ourselves together. The gift is of us being together. We don't need to be spending all that money anyway. And I had John Hope Bryant on my podcast. I think the episode will be released in next week. And he was saying that the economic battle is the issue of the 21st century for us. And I agree with that 100%. So what we're doing is helping people to get in the mood, to stop being in the mood.
And habits. You know, we need different habits. We've been doing the same habits. Let's have some different habits. So let's do this in just a moment or two remaining. Let's tell everybody where to go. Cliff, what's the website? The website specifically, weaintbuyingit.com, right?
That's it. Mm-hmm.
You muted.
Oh.
You muted.
Yes, I was saying yes. weaintbuyingit.com.
Weaintbuyingit.com. We want everybody to go there, learn more, get involved, folks. Don't just get caught up. You know, we did some good on Tuesday and we got to do nothing else. That's not how it works, right? Latasha, we have to get involved, don't we?
We do. We're saying we ain't buying this 5 days on Thursday. Spend time, don't spend a dime. Tamika, I love the vision that you said, and with like our goal should be in this moment, we need community and family deeper anyway. And so we really got to see this as an opportunity to actually build with the folks that we actually gonna need. We gonna need. Listen, y'all. Some of y'all might have some issues or some tension with your family, your friends. You better get it right. Like we gonna need each other these upcoming months. So on Thursday, on that Friday, it is a blackout Friday. We're not spending any money on that Friday. Many people are going, they're protesting. There'll be some actions happening all across the country on, so make it a real blackout Friday. And if you are spending money, only spend money with local businesses, local Black owned, women owned, small businesses. And on that Saturday and Sunday, that's what we're asking. No money other than with small and local businesses. There's also a rally that Tamika is helping to lead in DC. They're having a Target rally in DC on that Saturday. And then on Monday, Cyber Monday, delete those apps, y'all. You'll need them apps. Delete those online shopping apps. Delete some of those spaces. So that's go to the website. You find all information you need. We ain't buying it.com.
All right, we ain't buying.com. Love
Please
y'all.
sign up.
We're live in Chicago. Please keep Reverend Jackson in your prayers. We'll keep everybody posted. Pray for Reverend Jackson. Thank you to Cliff Albright and Latasha Brown of Black Voters Matter and Tamika Mallory of Untold Freedom. If all minds are clear.